This past Friday on SmackDown, I I want to preface this by saying I've been paying attention to WWE all year, and I feel like damn near every show, whether it's a TV show or a PLE, somebody commentary table is getting broke.
For sure.
June 27th, 9:45 p.m. Jacob Fatu putting Cody Rhodes through a table may be my favorite table spot of the year so far. Look at Paul Heyman.
I'm gonna tell you what. We ran into Jacob Fatu on several occasions.
Of course.
WrestleMania weekend. Jacob Fatu is one of the few people when I'm like, I believe everything he doing.
You know why? Wait, you know why? This for your cousin.
I can really fight, and I will dog walk your bitch ass.
That
I believe that. I believe anything he say.
He
I'm
is
like,
the Billy
yeah.
Dance. He's the Billy Dance of pro wrestling, and if you understand that, you know what I mean, you understand me.
Yeah, I believe that.
Look at that shit.
This is crazy.
I was in awe. Well, cause it feels like when they started talking to Mimi, correct me if I'm wrong, when they started talking about the bloodline and like who could be added, I feel like Jacob Fatu name, somebody mentioned it at some point.
But it was always, it's not gonna happen.
For various reasons.
Yeah.
Nah, just as felonies.
Well, that's like he said.
I can really fight, and
My father can vote now, so I figured he was all right.
I can really fight. And
Love that. I love that. But it's funny because since he debuted in WWE, if you go on like the timeline, everybody's throwing out all the old Jacob Fatu stuff from MLW. Go check if you like a good Briscoe Brothers Raw promo. Go find some of them promos of Jacob Fatu's out back behind somebody's grocery store.
Smoking.
Smoking.
Like,
Talking cash shit.
He's just like me. That's how I feel.
He took out Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes.
Ready to start calling Randy Orton James Harden, boy.
How this look?
I'm surprised that he went with them.
I
don't think he's with them, but I'm gonna let you cook, Cam.
No. Actually, because I've been seeing that sentiment, Mimi. So talk about. It feels like a lot of people think if you're breaking down Bloodline versus Bloodline Civil War, they were assuming that Jacob Fatu would be on whatever side Roman and the Usos. But why?
Because I think that I don't like the element of other people being in the bloodline. People keep putting Sammy in it. People keep saying that. I think it was Corey that said that he thinks that that Cody is going to be like an element. I think it's going to be truly Civil War, just family, and I don't know how many else can come. I don't know who else. Yeah, how many more people can come? And I think it's so many of them that are wrestling and training right now.
Yeah.
That I just feel like Jacob is probably the only one that's ready.
We got one more. I think
Zilla or one
Lance.
of the other ones? Lance.
I think
Lance.
So. I haven't really seen him wrestle in a long time. He was in NXT, right?
Yeah.
Hikuleo is on the way as well. They're saying shouts out to Dixon.
Hikuleo would be God, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it really depends on how WWE's trying to structure, but it could be.
They're not. I go off of when. Granted, it's Bloodline, but I still go off of what's his name? Kid, what was his name?
Which one?
With Haku. What was his name? Tonga Kid and Haku. You know what I'm saying? That's they were like family to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I understand why God is with the Bloodline. So
you gotta have all three of the brothers there together then.
Right. So I understand that piece. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at them being with him, but
then the thing is then you'd have to figure out if they're doing a civil war, because a lot of people think this is going to be going on through leading in the Survivor Series. No, I mean WrestleMania maybe, but I think that a lot of people are pegging like a War Games being a Bloodline versus Bloodline situation. But like, right?
I remember us talking about them not going back to that big
the structure.
The family tree, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Right. So one of the best interviews with Main Man is him breaking down who was who and what was what.
Right.
Wasn't that Jacob?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. And then they asked him about Rocky.
Like who?
Oh, I don't really know. I wouldn't even.
I don't really know.
I think that's really on his mother's side. It's on his mother's side, like that, kind of like right there to the left hand. You know what I mean? Like right there, over there. You know what I'm saying?
I can really fight.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, that nigga, he got
word.
Some kind, you know what I mean? He show up at the family.
I'm with it. The brother done slimmed down.
Mm-hmm.
They said he dropped mad weight.
He's so. I remember when I first seen him, he was wrestling with, I think that's Contra. He was the champion in MLW, and I'm like, yo, how the fuck is this big motherfucker doing these flips?
Doing all that shit, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he's fire, but I don't know what else. You know what I mean? What else can happen with him here outside of the Hammerstone shit?
Right.
Him and Hammerstone going back and forth. I'm like, yo, that's like the biggest you're gonna get here. And
so Lance's Krillin is funny, but that's a DBZ joke. I'm sorry, keep going.
That's I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
but to see him here I'm surprised as hell, and then I'm happy because that shit is raw.
This is raw.
That shit is raw. That shit is real. It's authentic.
It's authentic.
I love. Look at that shit. That's amazing. I don't know. I'm hyped. Have y'all been seeing any of this talk about? Because SmackDown is in Madison Square Garden, and there's a Bloodline Acknowledgement Ceremony.
This shit about to be fire.
Every rumor, every theory is out there.
If sun pop up, the roof gonna blow off.
He may.
And Mimi is a big advocate for this nigga. I said this shit like last summer before that, one of them summers.
Right.
All this shit due to the God. I can't even front.
Of course.
Like all of this is moving because of son. You got to give him all the flowers.
Well,
around his neck.
They're chanting for him,
which is crazy.
When I don't want to say I was surprised, but I mean, in a moment where CM Punk is in the ring and Paul Heyman is giving his Emmy award winning best performance out there, the crowd is still like, we want Roman. We want Roman. It's interesting. It's interesting to see. I like it.
When son come back and then he's still an asshole.
That's what I want.
It's gonna be
That's
fire.
not gonna happen.
It's probably not. It's not
gonna happen. Yeah. He's gonna be super good guy.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
I doubt that.
My thought was him not being a heel when he came in, and then at some point getting back to business after the fact.
You're not going to be able to elicit a boo for him for probably at least a couple months.
That don't mean he's a face.
Wait, but Mimi, how do you see it? Resident.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters whether Roman comes back. If Roman comes back as a heel again and he's still a dick and he gets cheered, nobody cares because the money is rolling in. It does not matter. Heel work and babyface reactions do not matter anymore. That's not the focal point, in my opinion.
Depends on the person.
In my opinion, it does not matter.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm more wondering if there's like, because I'm not like Triple H is not batting 1,000 right now.
Triple H is not involved in this right now. I believe maybe he might have a hand right now. Maybe. a very big maybe. I do not believe. I believe that he might have approval rights. I don't think he have full creative rights. So
No,
when I think about this, whatever's happening right now, I don't think about Triple H.
I'm not even thinking about right now. I'm thinking of soon, because it's just like, I mean, people talk about Uncle Howdy, and there's a lot of things that happen, and then at a certain point, that thing that happens then has to become wrestling program, on TV, and I'm wondering, like, that's why the Roman question is so interesting, because if he returns tomorrow, when he returns, what's that situation going to be, and how's he going to get involved in the? Is he even going to be worrying about a Cody Rhodes title, or is it going to be a situation where he's straight up family business?
No, it's family business right now.
So then, would it make sense?
In the title, that's right.
Well, then let me ask you a question. Then, correct me if I'm wrong. They're building Solo as like that guy right now on SmackDown.
Maybe.
I just watched this nigga
Who
beat 3 people up.
Jacob Fatu.
Yes, and jump through the table from the ring post.
No, you're right.
That's the nigga that I'm looking at.
Yeah, but I think my answer to that is, I would argue that I feel Tama Tonga is better than Solo right now, and right now Tama Tonga is, again, he's behind Solo Sikoa. Like I think right now it feels like they're building Solo to be that guy. I only say that because if Solo is being built to be that guy, and again, there's even talk that he's going to be the opponent at SummerSlam. If Roman returns, does that change? And with the "We Want Roman" chants and how people may react, do you think that would derail Solo's path right now?
It would all be part of whatever story they're telling, right? But it doesn't look like they're telling that story.
Right.
It looks like first of all, Solo needs to be really appreciative of Paul Heyman. He's saving his life right now, right? The guys that are around him are saving his life right now. He's still kind of trying to figure it out, and the problem is you figuring it out around some of the most seasoned niggas in the game. Like, yeah. I mean, so I guess it is a decent place for them to like bet on him without putting all the weight on him, because they have a bunch of, that's a fact, Sloan. He needs his clothes need to fit. It looked like he's going court. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like
he had, was that a velvet red top he had on?
Now, he was tripping because it was
velvet
like that.
That was just,
was that?
I think that's the part to show you that
get a good shot of it.
Assistance.
He needs something, like he needs more polish, because the look of it, it's just not.
That's what
he got on, a red velvet top with a Cuban. I think that's a Cuban, and he got on. It's the whole biker gloves and then black pants. It's an interesting look.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Why?
So do you recall like any of the shows? I can't remember Power, but when the guy under the guy,
when the underboss becomes the boss,
okay, yeah.
For a second,
this is their look,
and he tries to emulate who the guy is.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you.
That's what this is. That's why his suit jacket is too big.
That's
that,
velvet?
The velvet shirt on.
Facts.
That's why he looks off, because it's supposed to look like.
You think they're that sad? I don't know if I buy. I'm not giving them that much credit.
I
haven't seen that much nuance in the story before.
We just watched the Bloodline shit for 2 years.
Yeah. Wait, but brother Math, we also just watched Chad Gable get shot in the. He had a whole bullet hole in his head, and then he returned to wrestle and win the match the next week
with a Band-Aid.
We're talking about two separate things.
I hear you, but I'm talking about a company and how they pay attention to details. What I'm saying,
but I understand that. But we're talking about the storyline, and then you're talking about a storyline. It's two different things.
And I
Right
don't
now,
believe
this
the company
isn't the
has ever
storyline.
touched that storyline. I don't believe the company touched it.
So whose fault is it? Or let me ask a question: Is it that the WWE is making him
No,
dress like this to be
I
in
think
this, or
he's
that's
from
on him?
Florida. He's from Florida. This is what they do.
So Mimi, you think Math is putting on a very interesting theory on something that's not true at all?
That's always the case.
Yeah, it's always a theory.
That's always the case, nigga.
But then when I ask a question about it, you look at me like I'm a
No.
What do you
dumbass.
mean?
because
What do you mean? What question did you ask?
When I ask about, or when I bring up a question about how they're handling other storylines, it's not like it's two totally different worlds. This is literally what's happening on the one show and then what's happening right now. I don't know.
Think the Bloodline is a different world. I believe that is handled differently. I believe
See, and Matt, that's what I'm talking about. When I present something, you just gave me the hands and looked at me like I'm an idiot.
No, because
Mimi said something. That's what I was saying.
what I'm saying is you're talking about a storyline. This isn't a main storyline. The Bloodline is the story.
How far away is the Wyatt Six from a main storyline?
You tell me.
It feels like it's right up there on the right. If Judgment Day is number one, Wyatt Six is like 1B or 2.
This week,
Judgment Day
Wyatt
is
Six was number one on the call sheet this week.
Judgment Day is number 2. The Bloodline is 1. The Wyatt Six would be 3. But we're keying in on what was a mistake. I think that whole that's a mistake. And
What's a mistake? Just so I'm clear.
The Chad Gable with the blood on his temple, making it look like he was shot, was a mistake on their part because this isn't the storyline. Like, how many people are keying in on that piece?
How many people are keying in on the fact that Chad Gable had a wound on his head and then was cleared the next week and won a match? I think a lot of people are.
A lot of people who viewed it. The people who wrote it probably, obviously, they like, all right, we just going. Nobody thought about it like that. When we're talking about something, the main storyline has all of these intricate pieces. This is why you got Sammy, KO, Jay, Jimmy. It had all of these working pieces. So because this was the main thing, they weren't fucking that up.
So who's?
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I hear you, but then I guess my question is who is this Solo telling himself to dress like this, or is somebody else saying, "Hey, nigga, you're the underboss who's got to look like you trying to fill some shoes you're not filling. Put this on."
You don't think that? So when you see Roman Reigns, it never looks sloppy.
No, I wouldn't call him a sloppy person.
It would never look sloppy, right? Even though it's a tracksuit, it's always like, all right, boom.
He put that tracksuit on.
He put the tracksuit on every week, and it never looks. You might say, he wore the wrong sneakers, but the tracksuit always looks like, all right, he wearing the fuck out the tracksuit. When you see Solo, it's like, all right, this nigga looks out of place.
I'm gonna rock with your theory.
The problem with that though is when it's business time and it's the money shot at the end of these matches, he doesn't look that way. He doesn't look off.
Right.
So if the storyline were that nuanced and they were trying to paint him as being disheveled and sloppy, he would look like that all the time, wouldn't he?
How did he look prior to Jacob Fatu saving him?
Like that?
Nah, he looked like he needed assistance. That's how he looks.
I thought he looked like a man with a plan. When he was sitting in that corner and the three of them were standing, he started smiling.
He started smiling when he was in the ring.
The driving gloves.
He started smiling when he knew Jacob was popping up, when they were standing there like they had the drop on him. I'm just trying to I'm trying to understand your theory, because I'm not sure. I'm unsure on if they're paying that much attention. Like Solo Sikoa is paying that much attention to detail.
I mean, shit, it don't got to be him.
I don't think he's paying attention to detail. I think he's just playing into the role. I don't think he said, "Let me pick up this velvet shirt."
He just said, "I got to look like the boss. Let me get some boss clothes."
I think that was in his closet.
Ain't no way.
He didn't go out and cop this. He said, "Oh, I got a red shirt at home, boss."
The Matt Hardy was not in his closet. There's no way.
I think it was. You ever watch their Instagrams, like when they post family pictures? When they post family pictures at events, do you ever see their outfits?
He knew what he was doing when he put this shit on.
That's right.
Yeah, he put that shit on.
He was
That shit
dressing
was in
without
the
a license
closet.
right there. He was dressing without a license.
He
That's
dressed
what
like
they do all the time. They
That
dress
didn't look like he
without
see
license.
that on the shelf and like, woo!
That's what I'm saying. Just because he didn't have a license doesn't mean he wasn't behind the wheel. He was just grabbing stuff, throwing it in the back, saying, "Well, this gonna look ill when I get to the show."
That's
That's what it looks like to me.
And that's what happened.
He said, "Baby, I'm gonna kill these niggas
That
with this
nigga
loose."
dressed like fat chicken.
Right. If you look at that Instagram and them family pictures,
Oh gosh.
I'm like, oh, okay, that was an interesting choice.
He dressed like fat chicken is crazy.